Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV. And at the Wellness Radio TV podcast, it's not every day that I have a Hollywood star as my guest. I have one tonight, Sirelle Wilkerson. Sirelle is in this movie that's about a subject that was in the news, the contaminated water in Flint. But she's done many other things. She's an actress, she's a producer, she's a director, and she's my cousin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. What you been up to? Just getting back from LA.
I did. I just got back. Clearly, I'm in my room. I just got back last night. I shot another film there. I was actually playing a video gamer. So I got the blue hair, first time having, added hair. So this is new for me. But I wanted a little bit of a rock edge. If I'm going to be a video gamer, I kind of needed that edge. And the director's like, I need you in braids. I'm like, or he said, I want to see you in the braids. I'm like, okay. Like, what if I add a little bit of blue to it just for, the video gaming vibe? He was like, yeah. So that's what we went with. I just got back from Cali. We shot in Hollywood, California. It was fun. I had fun. And here I am back in Seattle, cold. It was cold there too, and it was raining in California.
Is that right? Is that right? Sirelle is in a movie that you can now see on Amazon Prime and and other outlets. What are the other places that people can see this movie?
So it's Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, Apple TV, Google TV, and Vudu.
So let's take a look. Let's take a look at a
It'll be on Netflix in 3 months.
Oh, it's going to be on Netflix as well. Flint Tale. This is the tale of a family and the saga of this family. And what role do you play in this movie?
I play Hawthorne James, aka Chief Hardwell. I play his something popped on the screen. I play his oldest daughter.
Okay.
Destiny Hartwell. I have retainer in my mouth in case I sound funny talking.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
I got my Invisalign in. I need my Hollywood smile.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I play his oldest daughter, Destiny Hartwell, and times are hard, and so I turn to stripping in order to make ends meet because my father gets locked up. We're, getting ready to lose the house. He's married basically a younger woman, basically my age. We don't like her. She's all about his money, and so I'm doing what I got to do to help take care of the family. And my younger sister is WNBA. Ends up tearing her ACL. So career-ending injury. She's trying to bounce back. It was her lifelong dream. Again, my father's away, locked up, and he finally ends up getting out. And when he gets out, all hell breaks loose. Prior to him going to prison or to jail, our mother passes away of cancer, and we kind of, part of me, my character, blames him a little bit because not always being there, always working, and basically, I'm the one you hate in the movie. When I saw the movie for the first time in Flint, I'm like, I curse everybody out on camera, and so I'm the angry one. I have the chip on my shoulder. My sister's more of the balancer, and I'm lost basically. And then we have an uncle who ends up getting sick from the Flint water, and he's basically the heart of the family to help keep us together and keep us sane. While our father's acting the fool, with his, young wife, played by Erica Peoples. And so, it's a roller coaster ride. It's a drama. It's based on true events. And we shot in Flint, Detroit. We had to do a little bit of ADR in California for the sound stuff. But, we were in the heart in the trenches. And all my family, my grandmother's side, a lot of them are in Michigan. Most of them are. So it was a family reunion for me going back there.
Yeah. Well, Sirelle, let's take a look at the trailer for Flint Tale, the film that you are a part of, and just did a fantastic job of describing your role. If you're watching, hope that you will be able to pick Sirelle out. She's the one.
Without the braids.
Without the braids.
My sister actually has this kind of a style, but kind of in a ponytail. You'll know it's me. You're looking at me. You guys will know.
All right, let's take a look.
This is me, Chassie Hartwell. I was the former star point guard for the Penn State Lions until I injured my right knee. Now I'm back in Flint, trying to figure out my life.
It's been 4 years since the Michigan crisis. They didn't lock up the ex-governor, but they locked up my boss instead. Tried so hard to get us out of this neighborhood, and now we right back in this hole. First, they poison the water, and then they lock me up.
When they arrested my husband, your chief, they took everything about you.
You gonna just act like I'm not even here?
You're not.
Is that the reason Mama died? You have to let that go.
I know you didn't just give me water from the faucet. The Flint River water corroded General Motors parts. How many different organs in your body have corroded?
I've been drinking this water all my life. Ain't no water crisis.
Uncle, do you hear how delusional you sound?
This ain't Penn State. This is the real one.
I don't care if he is my daddy. I don't have to love him.
This is not the time for you to be acting a fool.
Don't you know that you're trying to indict our mayor? Oh, yeah.
When I get my job back, there gonna be some changes.
We will overcome. We are Flintstones, Flint strong.
Ah, wow. You're incredible. Great job, Sirelle.
Thank you. I can't wait for you to, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I can't wait for you to really like dig into that character. It was a fun role, but yeah, she's a trip.
And
You
you,
can see the attitude in the trailer.
where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that? How you come up with that?
You know what? You got that last nerve in the back of your head, and that person you could take. But then when they hit that last one, you gotta just say something. That's Destiny, the whole movie.
So the
That
character,
last little nerve, she can't. She's just on 12 the entire time. So I mean, for me, I just kind of imitate people I know, or when it comes to a lot of roles, I try to just do a lot of imitating of people mixed with what the character needs.
so Sirelle, you played basketball in college. So your sister in
Yeah.
this movie, in this film, is a basketball player, but you actually played basketball in college.
Yes, I played at Florida A&M University, and then later played overseas. I was in Bonn, Germany, and Tirana, Albania. And what's funny is we're total opposite of each other in real life. Sequoia actually, she used to be a cheerleader for the Washington Redskins, and so she's
Ooh.
a real dancer. And so here we are in the movie. I'm like, she gets cast as the Hooper before I even got cast in the movie. She was cast as the Hooper, and then I got cast, and we had worked together before on a project. So when we got on this project, it was like, Sequoia, Sirelle. We're like, hey! So we had no idea we were both cast in the same movie for this time around. And so, but yeah, she's the dancer, and here I am, the athlete. So on set, I'm helping her with basketball, and she's helping me with dancing. So we're like picking each other's brains. So yeah, we were total opposite on camera.
Sirelle, as you pointed out, you have family on both sides, on your granddaddy's side and your grandmother's side that live in Flint, as well as your father who live in
Yes.
Flint, where this contaminated water was a headline. How did this bring home to you exactly what your family had been going through living in Flint? Your mother grew up in Flint. Joanne, my cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin Joanne, hey.
Hey, shout out. It was.
I mean, had you thought about what they had been going through? Because in this opening shot, she's taking a bath with the water in a jug.
Yeah.
And then your Uncle Quincy there. I mean, you
I
had
was just about to say his name. Yep.
yeah, who died a few years ago.
Yeah, my Uncle Quincy was actually going to run for Flint mayor prior to his passing. Cleaning his amputated legs with the Flint water. I mean, that alone. I mean, you're drinking it, you're cleaning your legs with it, and we found out from a lot of the people, I guess the water, if I get this right, was pure, but as it goes through the pipes begin to rust it. So then when it comes out on their end, that's what develops the whole corrosion. So it's in the pipes mainly.
Mm.
And so it's devastating that people still, are dealing with it, and when making the movie, uh, the satisfying thing that we did get was when people saw the movie, even the people of Flint, like in the heart of Flint, we sold out 2 theaters. So here they are saying, all you guys hit the hammer on the nail as far as bringing the facts. I mean, bringing numbers and facts and information. So you're learning as you're watching. And so all of my family in Flint, some of them are on the outskirts where the water has not affected them. Some are in the heart of it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's affected as a whole because you're there.
Yeah, and the human side of it, because on the news you hear about the water, but then the human side of it, just as you mentioned, your Uncle Quincy, who had surgery to amputate his legs, but the only thing that
Yeah.
he's able to clean his wounds with is this water that's already contaminated. Those people who watched the movie who said that you hit the nail on the head, what's the feeling like for them to see their story on the big screen? And your producer is actually from Michigan, or
Yes.
director.
And my director is actually from Detroit, Mark Casey. So
Yeah.
he's from Detroit, Michigan. And as far as like the family seeing it, they were shocked at how big my role was. I'll start there. So when watching it, it was kind of like, Sirelle, like, people want to know my work and see it, but if you don't catch a commercial or films I've done for film festivals or films that aren't streaming, you don't get to see it. So the family was excited. They were glad that this subject matter was being brought to the forefront in the right way. Because
Mm-hmm.
we do have some real life stories that are in Flint Tale, and we pay homage to a lady who actually ended up passing away due to the Flint water. So it's an emotion, like all itself. It's an emotional roller coaster. I mean, you're gonna feel the pain of this family in particular, and my family just watching it. I mean, I'm just glad that we did the film justice by, you know, telling true facts about it. Because a lot of times you can do a documentary style movie, and the facts aren't there. It's all wrong. So it was so good to know, like, wow, we got like the approval of the people from the heart of the city. So that was a good feeling. It
Sirelle,
was nice having them see me on camera.
yeah, Sirelle Wilkerson, who is playing a part in this film called Flint Tale, that uncovers the story, the intimate story of this family torn apart by some things that have happened, but having to deal with the water. And you said people were thrilled that you hit the nail on the head. What were you most surprised by? Because you live in Seattle, grew up in Seattle, just hearing your mom speak to her family back in Flint. What were you most surprised by when you were doing this film, as far as it comes to as it relates to the water crisis?
You know, you hear about it and you see it on television. You see it, on the being affected by the water, and so it's just this family. It shows what they're going through, grieving wise. As far as my family, I mean, I don't know how many of my family members were affected by it because you're drinking it, and it can affect you in a way that it can mess up an internal organ. You don't even know you're messing up until later down the line. You're like, you know what? For 5 years, I've been dealing with this issue, and I had no idea that it was because of the water. So,
Hmm.
it does worry me. Just, I mean, you're brushing your teeth with it. You're
Yeah.
boiling it. Are you really getting it out when you're boiling it? The germs out. I mean, you're washing your face in it. Your body is just like basically absorbing rust or whatever, And so it's eerie and it's creepy.
Yeah, just in
know?
in the trailer, your dad in the film said that
Yeah.
this water has been messing up uh, parts at General Motors as they built
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah. Yeah. So the pipes. So again, the metal parts, the water ends up I'm shocked. I mean, I hadn't necessarily Googled like what the corrosion looks like on the actual pipe. I haven't actually looked it up. I probably should, but I want to know what it looks like. And it's crazy because why is this still going on almost 5 years later? Like, how come no one can fix this? You know? And I think the people of Flint, I just saw something actually within the last few weeks. Everybody's getting a paycheck. So basically, the people who were affected, here's your check. We apologize. Here's your money. Here's your cut. Here's your cut. And it's just like, this is enough to, maybe pay rent for a month. This is what I get for dealing with this for 5 years. Like, come on. Obviously with all the people, it adds up to millions or billions or whatever. But when you look at the individual check, you're not really getting enough to really take care of a medical bill you have. You got kids dealing with this, kids affected with it. So it's like, this ain't really paying for nothing. Go fix it. Like, don't give a check. Go fix it.
Yeah, and the fact that it is, it's on the back burner. Nobody's really talking about it anymore.
No.
This film is bringing it to the forefront again. Tell people again where they can watch Flint Tale.
Flint Tale is streaming now as of yesterday, December 14th, on Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, Apple TV, Google TV, Vudu. So
And then
it's
in 2 months?
and in 3 months, it's supposed to be on Netflix in the next 3 months. So we need everybody to purchase it, go check it out. Find someone who has any of those streaming platforms, watch it. And we know you'll enjoy it because it's bringing facts and it's based off true events. And, you got the iconic Hawthorne James, a.k.a. Big Red, playing my father in the film. Erica Peoples, known for All American and True to the Game. She just released, actually, True to the Game 3, I think 2 weeks ago. Introducing Takoya Harris. So it's her first leading role in a feature. So it's her, breakout role. And then here I am playing her sister. And so, it's a beautiful film. It's done well. It was received well by the people of Flint again, which means we're hopeful the rest of the world can receive it. And hopefully it does create that buzz again and that spark to kind of bring awareness to, we got to go back. We got to fix the problem. Because if it's just swept under the rug, it's kind of like, oh, then you do a movie and you're like, wait, is that still going on? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's good that it's happening now because it's just bringing the awareness. And with everyone being at home right now, we're doing nothing but watching TV. And, all the COVID for the last 2 years has people home a lot more. So you have time to actually take this stuff in. So while everyone's at home for the holidays, watch Flint Tale. Check it out, and we hope you enjoy it. And hopefully my performance does something for you, hopefully unbelievable.
Yeah,
Every time I do a character, I always want to make sure that I'm doing that role justice. And I know the director wrote these characters as these two daughters kind of in a way that his daughters are. I guess in the daughters in the film, the director in real life, Mark Casey, there's a lot that's alike of his daughters in real life and the movie daughters in the film. So bringing that role to, making sure I'm bringing justice to that role, seeing it the way he saw it through his eyes. That's the main thing I like doing when it comes to roles. However you wrote it as a director and a writer, like, I need to transfer that to the film because how you saw it in your mind when you cast me in this, I need to deliver. So hopefully I delivered and, it's received well. So
based on what I saw in the trailer, you delivered.
Hey, I received. Thank you.
Sirelle. So how did acting and basketball marry? When did that come together? Because you played basketball in Florida down here at FAMU. I wish you had been here when I was here so I could have seen you.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that have been great?
It is. HBCU. Oh, my God.
No, I said, wouldn't it have been great if we had been here at the same time?
Absolutely. And I had my cousin James down there and my cousin Christina. So I had two cousins down there. Then I had a friend that goes to my church in Seattle that was there as well. So there was a few people that I kind of knew while down there. I'm like, okay, not by myself.
Yeah. So how did you move from the basketball court to the movie stage?
So when I'm telling my age when I tell this movie.
Oh yeah, right. Don't do that. You're so old.
Don't do that. I won't do that. But there was a movie called The Hand That Rocks the Cradle with Ernie Hudson and Rebecca De Mornay about the crazy babysitter. And they I was like, I want to do this. And then I do remember like when they were done filming for that week and, I did my little scene and stuff. I remember just walking along the fence, even to this day, and just remembering. I remember that trailer was there and they came out and then it was empty. I remember I just remember standing by the fence, just envisioning like what I had saw that last week. Like, I have to do this. I'm like, Mom. And then we go to the movie. The movie comes out. I'm like, Mom, this is my scene right here. You're going to see me playing soccer. Scene got cut.
No.
And I just remember I was angry. She was like, that's okay, baby. She was like, you're going to make it. You're going to be in a movie one day. I'm going to sign you up with an agent. You're going to be okay. I was so hot. I didn't know how it worked. Like, I didn't know you could cut a scene that I shot, And so she signed me up. I remember with an agency. I don't even know if they exist anymore. They were called City Kids Talent. And I was, by the time she signed me up, I think it was like a couple years difference. And I ended up doing, my first job was a Nordstrom's print ad. And so that was my first job. And then from that point on, I ended up, not long after that, I got with a lady based in Bellevue called Colleen Bell Agency, who I'm still with now. Ended up signing with her, and all through elementary, middle school, high school, college, I was always doing print work or commercials. So that was like my side thing. Basketball, I picked up a basketball, I remember maybe second or third grade. And so those two were the things, even at a young age, I knew I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to play basketball. I'm doing both. And I was able to do both. I knew in elementary, I knew what I was going to do.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild.
I had a supportive mother, so, you definitely need that.
Yeah, cousin
So that's how it
Joanne.
all kind of just tied together.
Yeah, so not only are you acting, so
Hear you.
you cannot hear me. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Not only are you acting, Sirelle, but you have put pen to paper and you have a movie of your own
Yeah.
that you wrote.
Yeah, so I wrote a short film called Boomi. It's a female boxing film. Actually, cousin James Marshall was my road dog. That's my boy right there. He helped me with getting that together. And we shot that, I want to say about 5 years ago. We shot Boomi, the short film. I wrote and produced that. And then when I did the feature film version, I collaborated with another writer because now I needed to be, that was my first ever short that I had written. So when it came to the feature, I'm like, I don't know how to do a whole one. And so I collabed with another writer. And basically my short film is the core and the base of the film. And then you add in a few characters here and there to kind of make it flow. There was a lot of like emails and text messages of, hey, I want such and such to say this line during this scene and this. So you're just a lot of back and forth and so now the screenplay is done. Actually, Boomi screened in the film festival a couple of days ago. And did really well. And I've got some investors involved. So one thing about film, they think overnight you could just go make a movie. It doesn't work like that. The hardest part is getting the money to do it. So that's why you do the trailers. That's why you do short films, just to kind of raise awareness. But 5 years later, and it's like my past is still amazing. Tony Winters, who plays my father in Boomi, he just had a movie come out, National Champions. with J.K. Simmons,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so that just dropped last week. And Curtis Hamilton, he's played now Dr. Dre, and he has a Christmas movie coming out, and he's on all these TV shows. And I mean, everybody's like blown up in the last 5 years. Well, Tony Winters was already kind of the bigger name. He's been on every TV show you could think of. But like since then, my cast has just like the last 5 years, people have just taken off their careers, and they're still like, Sirelle, let me know when you're doing Boomi. I'm still in. I'm like, wow, I still have them all on board. And so with some investors recently, literally the last couple of days, interested, going with that. So they're like, you got to get your pitch fest going, and you got to get this funding coming in. We're going to try to figure it out. You got to get this done first. We want to help you. So I'm in a position now to get this, the pitch fest going and be able to, have my presentation ready.
Sirelle, how much money are you raising? Are you needing to raise for your film?
We want to do at least 100,000, which in the movie world is small pennies, but it's a lot when you don't have it. So 100,000, it'll take care of the actors I want, because they're SAG actors. We got to pay them. It takes care of food, expenses, location costs. You got to pay for your crew, your director, your camera crew, post editing, sound. Like you got to take care of all that post production. Yeah.
And so if there are any investors who are watching who want to invest in a film, this young lady, I'm so proud of you, Sirelle. I am so extremely proud of you and what you are doing. And, put your contact information in it. You never know who's watching.
You never know.
This is on the world. This is on the worldwide internet.
Yeah.
We may find our investor.
Yeah, and I mean,
and no contribution is too small, right?
Nope, nothing. No contribution is too small. So I mean, any dollar I can get, I'm trying to raise it. But of course, overall, you need that big chunk so that you can, you get that big chunk, and then it's like, okay, now we're moving. Say tomorrow somebody's like, hey, I'm sowing a seed of 30 grand. Once I have that, everybody else is like, oh, someone gave you 30 grand? Huh? Well, let me add to that, because then people don't want to get left out.
Right. So
I got to at least get it going, and I started to get it going, but it just wasn't enough. So we put that money towards, the trailer that we ended up doing, and then of course wardrobe stuff. You got to have wardrobe stuff. So a lot of the wardrobe is bought. I do want to still stitch in names on the robes and stuff, but a lot of the wardrobe has already been purchased, like boxing trunks and things like that.
So Sirelle,
yeah, 100,000.
Sirelle, working on other projects. This project, this film that has already been shot and is now airing. What was it like for you sitting watching Flint Tale for the first time?
Oh gosh, nerve-wracking, because I had never seen the movie. They had did a LA screening, but the dates kept changing. I kept trying to switch my flight, and I'm like, I keep switching my flight. I can't keep switching it. So I missed the initial one. But there have been at least 5 or 6 different edits of the film, and that's typical movies. The original edit, and then they edit it for the final production of what's going to be shown to the world. And so I saw the version of Flint Tale just before. I saw basically what you're getting ready to see. It's been edited slightly since then for Prime Video. But just, I think, tiny little things. So basically, I saw almost the final product pretty much. And not seeing it all those other times when they did it in Detroit, when they did it in LA, when they did it in Miami, I missed all those. So it made it to where I was like, okay, this is my first time seeing it. I don't know what I'm getting into. My castmates are telling me I did wonderful and I did a great job. And I'm thinking like, they're just my castmates. They're gassing me up. And so going to the theater and seeing it with my family, we got 2 sold out shows in Flint. Now I'm like, there's no looking back. Here we go. What do I look like on camera? Was I making ugly facial expressions? Was I crying ugly? Like, did I have the right tones and when delivering the line? Like, am I believable? Did I bring this character to life? Are people gonna believe that Destiny is crazy, or not crazy, but a hot mess? Are they gonna believe that? And so
so the question is, Sirelle, did you believe it watching you? Did
I
you
did,
believe?
and I actually did, and that's what's weird because I'm like, okay, that's what I look like on a big old movie screen. And
That's
then it was
wild.
like, okay, and then just watching it, I actually like believed the character. It was weird because I'm watching myself, but I'm believing the character myself as well. And then my family's just like, oh, you did great, you did great. And girl, I hated you in that movie. Girl, I just want to choke you. I just want to choke you. And I'm like, you guys know I'm not mean, you know? But they whatever I did, they were like, girl, I just wanted to snatch you up in that movie. And I'm a hot mess. I have no respect at all. So yeah. But I come to my senses eventually.
Well, if you brought your family members to a point that they wanted to choke you, then sounds
Yeah.
like you did a good job.
Oh, yeah. So they gave me the kudos, and my dad's like, baby, I'm so proud of you. He was like, I didn't know you had such a big role. I said, Dad, I told you I played the lead starter. But then the thing is when I did the Hand and Rocks and Cradle, my little moment of glory I thought I had as a little kid, they took it out. So again, when it comes to films, no matter what you shoot, you don't know what they're going to keep and what they're going to take out until the movie is released. I know people who have had speaking lines in major motion pictures in theaters. They go to the red carpet premiere, their scene's gone. And they get the credit for being in the movie, but your scene's not in the movie for everybody to see. And so I'm kind of like, okay, I did a lot of scenes, and then so seeing it was like, wow, all my scenes are in. So that was cool. That was
Wow.
definitely cool. Yeah.
The film is Flint Tale. It is a story of a community being destroyed still by contaminated poison water. But also, this film is about a family and the saga of this family. And Sirelle Wilkerson is playing one of the lead roles with this family. And it is a film that you need to see, not just to see, but to have an appreciation for what's still going on in that community. You may have family members or friends, family members, as I do, and Sirelle, who live in Flint, who are still living with this water situation, having to take a bath with water out of a bottle, still drinking water out of bottles, and who God only knows the long term consequences of children who've been born in Flint and drinking that water.
Yeah.
So I hope that it will uh, re-spark, reignite a desire to push for some changes to happen in Flint. Yes, it's in the pipes, but we can spend money on a lot of things. We have to make the people in the United States a priority, and in particularly these people in Flint, Michigan.
Yes. Yes.
Sirelle, thank you very much for
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
taking a pause. I know you just got in from LA, and I'm looking forward to your gaming film that's coming out. When is that coming out?
Yeah. You know what? We started filming, and they're going to finish filming, I believe, top of January.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, I don't know, but I'm thinking spring, summer, early summer, late spring is what I'm thinking. But yeah, that was fun. That was definitely fun. Yeah.
Well,
Totally different, like two different characters from, still kind of trife, but in a different way.
Gotcha. Well, we're looking forward to that as well, and perhaps you can come back and visit with us when that one is ready for everybody to show.
Absolutely.
And please keep us posted on Boomer. Did I say it right?
Boomi.
Boomi. About a boxer.
B-O-O-M-I-E. Yep. Yes, I will. Hopefully, our goal and plan would be to basically shoot that late spring, and hopefully be able to have it be done. It doesn't take about maybe 30 days, 45 days at most to edit a film. Really, not even that much. And the goal is to have it at Sundance by August, September. So that would be the dream goal to do that. Outside of that, it'll be on Prime Video or Netflix streaming outlet where people can still watch it. The main thing is for people to watch it. Because people hit me up, they're like, every time I see a boxing movie with a female, all they think of, it made me think about Boomi. It made me think about Boomi. And I'm like, I got to get this money. So, but yeah, I believe the goal is a lot closer than what I think now as of a few days ago, meeting with these investors at this film festival who were asking me all these questions. I'm like, I think they're interested. And I actually spoke with one yesterday, like reaching out, saying, hey, I want to talk to Sirelle. And I'm like, wow, me? So I feel like we're a lot closer to our goal. But you know,
let's just touch and agree.
touch
Wait,
and agree.
touch and agree. Touch and agree. There we go. There we go. Thank
By the
you.
blood.
By the blood. By the blood. Absolutely. The film is Flint Tale. It is on Amazon Prime. In 3 months, it's going to be on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime. What are the other ones that it's on?
Hulu, Vudu, Apple TV, Google TV. Pretty much all of them, except Netflix.
And if you have not seen a trailer for it, it is on YouTube. And I did play it at the beginning of the show. So if you want to go back to the beginning of the show and watch the trailer and watch for Sirelle, you know, I'm looking forward to the day that you're on the red carpet and up there receiving your, let's see, do we have a little statue over here?
Come on, Oscar. Come on, Oscar.
Oscar, Uncle Oscar.
Come on, Oscar. Yes, thank you. I want to take the Academy, you know.
These are my prayer warriors back here, Sirelle.
Come on now.
Yes.
Team Jesus all day.
Yes. Thank
What are those,
you.
the 12 wise men?
It's all of them.
The 3 wise men and their friends.
Everybody that you need, a whole host.
Hey, touch and agree.
That's right.
All of them.
Absolutely. Sirelle Wilkerson. Thank you so much, Sirelle Marshall Wilkerson.
That's right. I'm a Marshall. My dad's last name is Wilkerson, but I am a Marshall, and I'm a Finney, so that's the family. Marshall and Finney. And tell my cousin Joanne, thank you for being your publicist and putting me in touch with you so that we could do this interview. I sure will. She might be watching. I think she's watching. She told me she'd be watching. So. All right. Hey, cousin Joanne, if you're watching. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you again. I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Make it a fantastic moment because there is healing at the well. We'll see you next time. Amen.